morning, good evening, good afternoon to this august audience. It's indeed a privilege and pleasure to be around such dignified stalwarts in education. A child at the onset is told numerous tales by who? Grandma and grandpa. They are the foundation of culture and language. Have you ever thought this? Yes, it is stories that dispel, put in a lot of things. You're never going to kill storytelling because it's inbuilt in the human plan. We come with it. Margaret Atwood. Of our great stalwart, Professor Rachna. She is an educator. Educators are catalysts. She's a counselor, international speaker, social activist, conducting numerous workshops on public speaking. She's working as a deputy chief moderator of Maharashtra State Board, also co-authored course books for State Board, authored several books for all age groups, the founder of CVMD, a group which works for emotional empowering dreams. Let's give a round of applause for her. Yes, we as educators are all catalysts, bringing together some little thing that we want to give to the world, to touch, to inspire, dynamic process in education. And we have with us today wonderful speakers from all over the globe. We are 16 of us who are going to tell us the power of stories. As I always say, I love stories because they are the foundation of language. If there weren't any stories, there won't be anybody around us. You wouldn't know culture. You wouldn't know anything. You wouldn't know your ancestors too. It is one story from another, and that's how life is passed on. It's beautiful. So yes, we're going to share a small little presentation about the entire storytelling process. So are you ready to share, Rachna ma'am?
Just a second.
Let's put our hands together, our ears, and listen to this international storytelling fest. Creative writing modern age presentation by CWMA. A great initiative. Can we make it full screen? Yes.
Okay, again, thanks their books for stories. The stories will change their life. I can, for my presentation, yes, it's okay now. I will share my screen. Storytelling. Here is my picture and my name. Stories help development. The stories help the development of the imagination. The stories create a moment of relaxation for place. Extraordinary people expand enrich their world. It's being shared in every culture. as a means of education, culture, present that others have truth and feelings different from thought and behavior. In the world of stories, the stories will signify a strong bond between children and parents and between children.
And the voice modulation. Today, I can modulate my voices because of my grandpa. I used to be sitting on his lap. I come from my grandpa was an actor at a time. And indeed, stories have a magical effect. So the roller coaster clap goes like this. So this is for life.
My wife and I took voluntary retirement. Then on 29th in Indian politics, independence I really wouldn't like. And couple of style. I
respect. And then you see this magic and child. The daughter, in a very humorous way, told the father, "This must be mom." The father smiled and smirked. "Why do you think it's mom?" "Because nobody was yelled at. If it wasn't mom, there would have been nice thunderstorms coming out from the kitchen. But there was nothing." This small story too has a message. I'll leave it up to you, the open forum. One message that I'll give you is, we are quick to judge. We are quick to find faults in others. But when it comes to us, wisdom.
Can you do from India? What can I do from Croatia? And how to get that award? And the award are what? The VR Film Festival. First, the film, and how can it's that to the jury? Jury is evaluating the film. After the jury is returning, analyzing, and we get the award data and get award ceremony. So really, life is a story. We can learn a lot. Everywhere where we can come. I'm sure that today.
Find a way out. In every situation, there is a gap where, as long as you are determined to turn, and it's a book about my life, turbulent life, dealing with different. Book. The purpose of writing this book was to a book about asking yourself why you're not fit in the environment you think about being your best purpose, why you feel wrong, and how to find a way to go deep inside yourself and ask yourself and where you belong, and everything that has happened in your life into something is going to make a difference. So tell them that no matter what had happened in the past, you always can be a light. You can always situation themselves again, because esteem, and you lose everything of who you are as a person. So with this book, basically, I'm giving them everything what they need. So, and we need a lot of people who, with their story, are able.
Let's have a talk about the storytelling. Before that, I want to introduce myself. This is Ambassador Nur Ahmed. This is a remarkable conference indeed, because all of that beautiful stories, some of these stories is a full way to guide, teach, and inspire the people. Because storytelling mostly the inspirational story. As I focus CGPA, but apart from the study, there will be another vision, another world that all the students, their journey, another one in the face. The one who got slipped was hard, but without saying anything, he just wrote in the sand. Someone hurt us, we should write it down in the sand. While a wind of the forgiveness can erase your dream, even be positive. And You know what? Why I'm using the inspirational story? Because inspirational stories move past creating a sense of connection and allow the listener to identify with the story whenever and whatever they are in their own life. Well, some of the best story contains several different meaning and lessons or different effective communication, auditory learners, and number three, kinesthetic learners. Visual learner who actually benefit that story that they feel were created in a story. This is wow. Learner, if possible, the emotional connection and a story. So storytelling is a great art, and all the storyteller is artist. And I would like to share all the speaker, all the audience, and all the youth whoever joined right now. Try to be effective. Try to learn from the story. If you are not able to, not interested to learn any informative articles, informative slide, and some other things, because story can run your life perfectly. If a story can be a listener, you will be a great businessman. But apart from that, you have to have some responsibility. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Thank you, Ahmed sir, for providing your wonderful insight and that story you told. Thank you very much.
See through the eyes of other people and open us to the claim of others, representing Brazil in the international conferences. This is Gabriel. Gabriel is 29 years old. He calls himself a jack of all trades because he works day and night doing all kinds of activities. Anything that you need to be fixed, Gabriel is there helping you. This is Sandra, the woman. She has 2 sons, and nowadays she lives girl. And she loves Wellington. Wellington is 11 years old. He's a hard studious boy because he wants to make his mom proud of him, since she is a and also dogs. This is Anna, one of 2 children, and he works really hard. Every morning, he sends me a video of 10 minutes telling me about his routine, the things he did yesterday, the plans for the weekend. Many of my other students, Julia, Lara, Leo, Katia, Eloá, Davi, Enzo, Igor, Bruno, Esther, Bianca, Claudio, and I know about their lives. And that makes in our relationship because they trust me. They trust me their lives, and they know about lives that I think becomes easier because they trust me and I trust them. They are open to learn, and that makes a completely difference. So calling them by their names is not enough. You have to listen to them. You have to learn about their stories, learn about their left behind. He asked her, Vilma, would you like to study English in my school? I looked at his eyes and told him, yes, that is a big dream, but my parents don't have any money to pay. And it's really, really hard. I started studying English and today, some years later, I am an international speaker and I am an international teacher because I have students from other countries. And I have the power to inspire others. I have the power to bring my students to the international floor, and I am changing their lives as this is the teacher who gave me the opportunity many, many years ago because he listened to my true story. He believed me, and then he helped me to make my dream come true. Because I believe that mentors, teachers make dreams come true because we listen to real stories. Some years ago, I am here, an international storyteller fest, to learn and make our story even better. What about you? What is your real story? Make it worth it. Make a difference in other people's lives. Sharing your story and listening to their real story. Thank you, dear Rachna, for giving me this opportunity once more. I'm truly honored to be here. Thank you so much.
See live from.
And thank you, Rachaita. Yes, it was really brilliant listening to Vilma and the other storytellers. I'm really awestruck. And it's great that we are doing it season 2 of this International Storytelling Fest. So, and the amazing storytellers lined up, the eminent speakers. I'm really thankful from the bottom of my heart. And we have a new moderator this time, but brilliantly trying. Our main intention here in Creative Writing Modern Age is to train the younger generation. We have been leaving it, but if we can train a young mind and they can lead us, that's a brilliant job. So we are trying to do it. Thank you so much, Rachaita, for taking up this courage and standing, though she was telling me that, ma'am, in front of so many eminent scholars and personalities, how do I stand and how do I figure out myself? But Rachaita, let me tell you, you are doing brilliant. So that is why I just wanted to say about Nara ma'am, who talked about the business stories. It was brilliant and it's really nice listening. And of course, Tony sir are all living stories. Vilma ma'am's stories with the students, how she gets connected with them, with her stories. And each and every student naming them personally and not only naming, getting connected to them. Aren't these stories? And this really touches me listening to them. Ambassador Nur Ahmed, though he was busy, but still he made it to share about stories. So that was brilliant. I'm really enjoying. So without taking much of your time, Rachaita, you can continue with us eminent speakers and
Wonderful words. Okay, so now moving on to our next guest, we have Professor Dr. Madhvi Bose, all the way from India. Okay, so the stage is all yours, ma'am.
Am I audible? Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. It was really going amazing, and I could simply say, yeah, awesome. All the speakers, all my excellencies, and those my shining stars were like, I'm so curious to hear you, and the moderators. And Rachaita, I should seminar. So people were asking something, and there were a lot of Supreme Court advocates and everyone, but people couldn't understand sometimes those things. So we can start with the story and example, and that was I have given, and they have understood it very nicely. So I believe that is the more amazing thing. So I write stories for newspapers, books, and girl who was I could say in school she got almost 5 first prizes in so many classes, school magazines, best leadership in SSC camps. Until now, when she grown up, she got divorce, 3,000 newspapers coverage, 15 magazines, doctorates, and so many books, and the institution. Now, even radio, TV interviews, and some world records, and all. But though, with this, she has got in the age of 13 years old, heart operation. It was a 10 years thing that she might be passed away if she wouldn't have got operated. Pneumonia, then an asthma. Twice in her life till now, she has almost faced ICU. Is that what is life? Then painful marriage, then divorce, and chase me. Hard work, lots of inspirations, lots of self-motivation. So yeah, make your own story, as Vilma ma'am said, that yeah, what is your story? And that is really got me connected. This is my story. So everything what I learned from this, that yeah, everything happens for the reason. It happens for good, because to a journey, it's so easy. No. So story is required, the pain is required, the journey, like whatever, whatever pressure was there, that is required, and the self motivation is really important. And I would say that it's a great fest, Rachna ma'am. Won't take so much time, and this is really amazing. And see, this is the part with where I got it, and Vilma ma'am, and all of the excellency who has shared, Nada ma'am and all, Nur sir, amazingly you have the ceremony which we done day before. Yesterday, we have we are highlighted in Ashtak. So I'm there. So it's really amazing. And I'm so happy to, and especially Tony, sir, you are you really remind us webinars, but our first webinar was on this platform. So thank you so much, all of you. So connecting me, listening me, inspiring me. Love you all and lots of respect. And keep sharing your story and keep making it. Keep editing your story in your real life. Yeah, thank you so much.
And another thing which you said is everything happens for a reason. That also sparked something in me. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So moving on to our next participant, we have Debbie Enoe, all the way from England. So the stage is all yours, ma'am.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much, Rashna, Mom, and everybody else for inviting me onto the platform. It's been wonderful listening to stories. And I am not well, whereby my grandparents have always told me stories of, their ancestors and what the journeys were like. So therefore, the stories they told me actually came alive. And although I was not in those countries that my grandparents were telling me the stories about, I have a backstory. But it depends on how we are telling that backstory. We could either allow it to make us, all our students have a story. And as educators, my is to make sure that when my students have the story that would break them, to enhance their life, show them the positiveness in the story, which they're going to try to demonstrate the positiveness in the story, which would empower them and enable them to move forward and enable our students to see the story that would enhance them and enable them to move forward. Anyway, if I did not have a very strong mother who believe in positive story, maybe out of being, and make sure that we start changing the story that they're telling themselves, because these little children become adults. And those stories could disempower you, it could enhance your life, it could transform you, it could take you on a journey, of either transformation or, destruction. It is also a form of expression. Stories enable you to understand things and understand other people. Journey. I was able to also visualize Bia Nancy. Stories also enable you to increase your confidence. It enables you to reflect. It also inspires. As a teacher and as an educator, every day I'm telling a story to my students. I'm either getting them to change their backstory and to see the real story and to make them see how they could progress in life. I'm also telling them a story in terms of where I want them to be. So in order for me to enhance them and enable them to be where they want to be, I need to tell them the story of where I have been and where I am, or of other people, so they could also see themselves in the lives and the story of these other people, so that they come along with me on the contents. Because too often, when students cannot see the contents you are teaching them, they are not enjoying the subject, nor are they understanding. Story increase our understanding of everything, comes alive for them in their mind, and then they're able to connect with it. Story gives us a form of connection. Not or if I want my student to understand the contents, I need to take them on a journey. I have to be telling stories. And I need to also listen to my students' stories, because I also need to change their mindset to enable them to see the story that they're telling themselves is not the right story sometimes. Because too often it is so easy for us to take on the story that our mind is telling us, which are all in them become traumatic and damaged adults. So as educators, it is so very, very important that we begin to tell students real stories that will enhance their lives. Right, that's it.
Thank you, Debbie ma'am, for your inspiring and wonderful tale. And it's really true that story gives us a message, a way to transform, and it can help us connect and see the lives in various ways. So that was really inspiring and wonderful. Thank you so much, Devi ma'am. And our next guest is Dr. Alica Durgaryan, all the way from Armenia. So the platform is all yours, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here. Am I audible? I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do I have a chance? Okay. First of all, good evening, everyone. And first of all, my friend, Professor Rachaita, thank you for the invitation. Really, I was sitting, listening to the creative from this point. And now I'm going to a little of the project that we are doing because my friends, all the, let's say, all the very good one. Now I want to make my presentation a little bit practical one with the help of my friends. And I would like that all of you just to be a little bit active. I would like all of you just to unmute yourself because now we are going to randomly people and try to, at the same time, analyze the structure of storytelling. Because storytelling, it can be up and get one more and more different kinds of variants of it. And let's choose a topic. Now I will start from my friend, Professor Rachaita. Please tell me any our topic. The second one that we usually have for it, it's going to be like to choose the characters. Now I will ask another Professor Tony. Please, can you, Mr.
Male.
All the dots? This one?
Male.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I will also ask Anya. Anya, please give me one negative character.
One more character. I would say school-going kid.
School what? Sorry?
School-going kid, like, I don't know, 13, 12 years old.
This one, am I right?
Kid.
Kid, okay.
Yeah.
I think from the internet, maybe something. Okay, thank you. Now we have our characters. We have like all adults and we have our school-going kid. Now the third part that we are going to know about the story is going to be like theme. What kind of topic is going to be this life? Is it going about the place and also about the time? For place, I would like to ask Debbie. Debbie, please name any kind of place. Please unmute yourself.
Caribbean.
My internet today is going to...
Okay.
Can you repeat?
Grenada. Oh, what's going on here?
Or maybe what century is going to be? Nada, are you here? Let me ask another one. I will ask Ramendra. Ramendra, can you tell me time? Any? We don't have answers. Okay, let me ask another one here from, I have asked, let's ask Tony again. Tony, what time would you like to have your story?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. 1960s.
Okay. Why? Characters between can be the first and second, just the characters that usually we have. I will ask my friend, Professor Rachaita, please you, what will you add?
Actually.
background or the situation which
now we have everything, like the first episode, how to create the storytelling, like all the parts, but we also should remember about the decor. What kind of movement it can be like about the just dresses, about for example, if we have a palace, if we have something, everything that design, it's going to be like really a creative one. And also after it's going to be that we have for this story. How can you just, let's say, what kind of, how can you conclude the story? Life is what? How can be the life? Because we have all the life is something that usually we are interested in, especially about the problems, especially about the. This was my story. Thank you very much.
Wow, ma'am, that was brilliant. We had a nice activity, I think. Work. Who was a brilliant activity. Thank you so much. And that is what?
India. And I'm 7 years old. I'm the world. It means one who narrates stories rules the world. I'm a storyteller so that I can spread awareness through my stories. So today, would sparkle and her tail would move left, right.